She didn't expect to feel invisible on a day that was supposed to celebrate her journey. She had worked harder than most, fought through years of doubt, fear, and loneliness. And yet at her own graduation party, Madison found herself sitting alone at a table while everyone else danced, laughed, and lived in the moment she thought she was finally ready for. But sometimes life sends you a stranger, someone who sees what others overlook, someone who shows you a kind of kindness that feels almost impossible in a world that often rushes past quiet hearts. This is the story of how one single dad did the unthinkable and how one moment changed everything. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. It helps the channel grow and lets us bring more stories like this to you. Welcome to your channel name. Madison had never been the loud one, the confident one, or the girl who blended effortlessly into any room. She was quiet, thoughtful, and soft-spoken, qualities that made her kind but often left her unnoticed. Throughout high school, she watched groups form, friendships bloom, and memories build, while she always seemed to stand on the edges. So when graduation night came, she promised herself she would enjoy it. She would smile, mingle, and soak in the beginning of a new chapter. But things don't always go the way our hearts hope. The gym was decorated with silver balloons, strings of lights, and a giant banner that said, Class of 2025. The music thumped through the speakers as students crowded the dance floor. Laughter filled the room, loud, bright, effortless. Madison tried to convince herself she belonged. She approached a group of girls she recognized from her classes, but their conversation closed around her like a door without a handle. When she tried to join, they nodded politely and turned back to each other. So she went to a table tucked near the wall and sat alone. She told herself it didn't matter. She told herself she was used to it. But deep down it stung. Across the room, a man in his 30s leaned against the wall holding two cups, one of punch and one of apple juice. His son, probably around 10, stood beside him, excitedly pointing out different decorations and waving at graduates passing by. The man, Ethan, had come to celebrate his little sister, Lily, who was part of Madison's graduating class. He was a single dad, someone who had learned early how to juggle responsibility, love, and exhaustion. He had also learned to notice things most people didn't, like the girl sitting alone. His son Noah tugged at his sleeve. "Dad," he whispered, "why is she by herself? Isn't graduation supposed to be happy?" Ethan followed Noah's eyes and saw Madison staring down at her hands, trying to pull off a smile that wasn't quite working. "I don't know," Ethan said gently, "but maybe we can help make it better." Meanwhile, Madison brushed away a tear before it could fall. She felt silly for crying. She told herself she should be stronger. That loneliness shouldn't be able to ruin such a milestone. But that's the thing about loneliness. It doesn't wait for the right time. As she sat there, she heard small footsteps. "Hi," a little voice said. Madison looked up and saw Noah standing in front of her, holding the apple juice cup in both hands like an offering. "My dad said nobody should be alone on a big day," he said. "So, I thought you could have this." Madison froze, surprised by the simple sweetness of it. Her heart softened. "Thank you," she whispered. "That's very kind." Noah beamed, then glanced back toward his dad, who gave him a small, encouraging nod. The boy climbed into the empty chair across from her. "You graduating too?" he asked, swinging his feet. She laughed softly. "Yeah, today's my day." "You don't look happy." Kids have a way of asking questions adults avoid. Madison sighed. "It's just been a lonely night." Before Noah could respond, Ethan walked up to the table. He offered a kind smile, the kind that made you feel seen instead of pitied. "Hi," he said. "I hope we're not bothering you. Noah just wanted to make sure you had someone to talk to." "You're not bothering me," Madison said, shaking her head. "Really, thank you." Ethan studied her face for a moment, not intrusively but with genuine concern. "You know," he said lightly, "I've been to enough family events to know when someone needs rescuing from awkward evenings." Madison laughed for the first time that night. It surprised her how good it felt. "Do you want to dance?" Ethan asked, motioning toward the dance floor. "Only if you're comfortable. Noah and I were about to go join the crowd anyway." Madison blinked. No one had ever asked her to dance before. Not at school, not at parties, not at any moment she could remember. A grown man asking felt strange, and yet something in his tone made it feel safe, not romantic or pressured, just human. "I'd like that," she said softly. Ethan extended his hand, and she placed hers gently in his. He led her toward the dance floor, with Noah bouncing happily behind them. The DJ shifted to a slower, soft pop song, and lights glittered across the floor like tiny stars. They danced, not perfectly, not gracefully, but comfortably. Madison let out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. In the middle of all the noise, she no longer felt invisible. "You remind me a lot of Lily," Ethan said as they danced. "She's quiet too, but she's one of the strongest people I know." Madison swallowed. "People usually mistake quiet for weak." "Then they aren't paying attention," he replied. His words settled inside her like warmth spreading. When the song ended, Noah rushed between them and raised both hands. "My turn!" Madison laughed and took Noah's hands, spinning him gently as he giggled. For the first time that night, she felt like she belonged. When the music shifted again, Lily joined them, bright, confident, and full of energy. "There you are," she said to Ethan. Then she looked at Madison. "Hey, you're in my English class. I always admired how you wrote. You're really talented." Compliments weren't something Madison knew how to receive. "Thank you," she said, shy but grateful. The night transformed after that. Instead of sitting alone, she found herself surrounded by people, unexpected people, who welcomed her as though she'd always been part of their circle. They laughed together, danced together, and celebrated the moments she thought she'd spend in silence. When the event ended, Ethan walked Madison to the exit with Noah holding her hand. "I'm glad you didn't spend the night alone," he said. "Me too," she replied. "Thank you for noticing," he smiled. "Kindness doesn't need a reason. Sometimes it just needs someone to act." Madison nodded slowly, letting his words settle into her heart. As she stepped into the warm summer air, she realized something important. The night hadn't gone the way she expected, but it had given her something she didn't know she needed. A reminder that even in her quietest moments, she wasn't forgotten. Kindness had found her, and she would carry it forward. In a world where people are often too busy, too distracted, or too wrapped in their own lives to notice the quiet souls around them, one small gesture can change a night or a life. Madison's story reminds us that sometimes the greatest kindness comes from strangers who simply choose to care. So the next time you see someone sitting alone, looking lost or forgotten, take a moment, offer a smile, say hello, share a little kindness. You never know. You might be the one who changes their story. Let's keep spreading light, one small act at a time.